Hey guys, we got the 10th episode going up right now. Let's get right into it. MSU didn't have too much happen. They had, in the last week, they have gotten 2 football commitments, so their class up to 2018 class up to 9 commits. One corner several days ago. He's pretty good, I guess like a middling 3-star, and then they had like one O-lineman, I think, today or yesterday. He's not very good rankings-wise, and maybe they outperform the rankings, maybe they don't. We have no way of knowing, really, so I'm not going to talk about them too much. I'm not too excited about it, but that's really it. But the one thing I just did want to mention is that I found really cool is that no idea if this guy goes to MSU, but I just thought it was cool. They were recruiting a guy in football his name is Storm Duck, and yeah, I just think it's a really cool name and very original, and I kind of like ducks.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, so.
Oh, that's it with the nesting blackbird that I gotten a few bouts with.
Oh, are you talking about Grand Valley?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the sign.
Yeah, he attacked me again today. Yeah, he does not, or she does not. She does not like you getting near like your nest at all.
Was she the victor?
Yeah, the first time I walked by and I started getting chased by this bird. It was like making this noise at me. Jesus Christ! I kind of like hustled the line and like I see this sign. It says like beware of nesting red blackbird, which is like a weird name. Or red-winged blackbird. There we go. And no, whatever. Like, and yeah, today like I was ignorant and like went by the same area, and this time it was more aggressive and yeah, almost like got me in my face, and I had to kind of swoop around and then make my way to the other side of the street.
That's awesome.
Speaking of nesting red-winged blackbirds,
we have a ton more of that.
Michigan got a basketball commitment for the 2019 class, and his name is Taylor Curry, and he's from Clarkston, and he's teammates with Foster Lawyer, and he's skinny and like not very tall for his position, and doesn't have very good offers, but is ranked somewhat decent by some places. Some places he's not ranked at all.
Like 150.
I mean, like Scout has him like in the 80s or 90s.
Okay.
And
they have like 2019 class.
Yeah, or it might have been Rivals, but one of those two has him a 4-star, and yeah, not pleased. Overall, there are like some good players, like decently ranked players that Michigan's after in basketball, but it's a matter of if they're actually going to seal a deal with them. Usually they don't, and they're like leading the crystal ball the whole time, and then but you know that like the crystal ball, all the picks are old, but they're not going to actually go there. And like a perfect example I can think of right now is Jerome Hunter. Like I don't think there's any way he goes to Michigan, but like I'd like to have him, and yeah, but he's not going to go there. And
I haven't followed that recruitment.
And yeah, like there's Pete Nance and all these weird dudes, and they're all the same body type, and just a matter of like hopefully getting the best one. As far as Kentucky, no basketball news really, but football wise, they've been getting some good commitments lately. They got like a top 100 safety for 2019 the other day. He'll probably decommit, but they have him for now, and. And they got DeAndre Square, who's like the 5th ranked player in Michigan. I think he's a safety too. Linebacker. He's from Cass Tech. He's decent. And yeah, they hired a coach who has a lot of Michigan ties recently, so he'll probably be getting into Michigan more. They're also recruiting that one guy from Orchard Park St. Mary's, the linebacker.
Orchard Lake?
Yeah.
Do you know who the guy you're talking about they hired is?
I forgot his name.
I mean, do you know what his connection is?
He just was from, I think he coached some at some Michigan school, and I think he coached in high school.
Do you know like what the school was? Like,
no, I don't.
Okay. Do you know anything? Yeah, that's all we have for like the MSU, Michigan, and Kentucky. This is a big like general week. Henry has a couple things he wants to get to later on, but at first we're just going to talk about the NBA draft that takes place this Thursday. I'm excited about that. Are you excited about that?
I am excited about that.
Yeah, I plan to watch like definitely at least like I don't know, first 15, 20 picks. I'll probably watch.
I always say I'm going to and just look forward to it, and then like 5 picks and like it's off to Taco Bell or something. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch the second round or anything, but I'll probably watch the first round, at least most of it. But yeah, this is a great draft class because this was the 2016 recruiting class. So a lot of these guys are gonna be. This is better than your average draft. A lot of these guys are gonna be real impact players down the road. And some news is that the 76ers just got the first pick when Boston had it. So they'll probably draft, what's his name? Markelle Fultz. So they'll have Markelle Fultz, the Joel Embiid, and Ben Simmons. So that's a good young nucleus. And then there's, just in general, there's like a lot of free agency talk right now. And like how that starts like officially July 1st. So, and we're not going to get into that really just because there's just so much stuff going on. So, and we don't have no idea if what is like, has like any like truth to it or not, or any like so I mean there's like a lot of stuff going on right now, but we'll see what happens with that. But we're definitely interested in that, but we have no idea what's going to happen. But Henry?
Yeah, some more basketball news, but on the college side, so Louisville, the NCAA finally came out with their decision on their findings, and I mean, in the most Louisville move ever, like what their defense was that like these are all third-degree offenses because like the sex acts were only valued at like $50.
Yeah,
and yeah, the NCAA's argument was like that is not why we're mad.
Yeah,
like,
it's not about the monetary value.
I mean, yeah, if you paid like a more expensive stripper, it's still like the principle of it that your coaches are paying for hookers in your dorm, and yeah, and Rick Pitino doesn't get that once this stuff happens, you shut up. He was vowing how they're going to fight it and repeal it. And the NCAA, like a lot of people said, they didn't come down harsh enough. Rick's suspension was kind of small; it was only 5 games. Like the probation wasn't that bad. But then they took away all the records from 2010 to 2014, and the banner's probably going to come down.
That'll be like official in like 40 days. So, and yeah, they have the 13 national championship and they have a Final Four in 2012. Like those are like the big things they would lose.
So Louisville hasn't won a title since the 80s now, and a lot of people like don't like the idea of like taking banners, and we all know what happened. But like you cheated and you used ineligible players. Like
yeah,
I'm fine with taking banners.
As am I. And like I know I saw like an interview today that John Beeline did about it. Like someone asked him about it, and they said like it's what you would expect John Beeline to say, but he said like he's not really thinking about it, and he said like Louisville beat us fair and square. Like no, they didn't beat you fair and square. Like
yeah, did you have hookers in your dorm?
So like so yeah, I'm fine with taking banners away in general, and I am excited at Louisville losing theirs.
And they have it all over their stadium. They have the floor hanging up in the entranceway of the Young Center. They have to take that down. They have to scribble everything out, get like the magic marker out, and just like run around that stadium. And and Tom Jurich, the athletic director, and Chuck Smart, the internal investigator, they understand the press conference clearly that like they just had to go up there and like take their beating and say like we'll learn from this, and they apologize. Rick Pitino does not get that, and like there's no one around Louisville that can tell him like Rick, shut up. He just keeps talking and it makes it worse, and he's still kind of denying that it happened. Like he kept saying supposedly this is what happened. No, not supposedly. The hooker wrote a book. She has pictures, and the NCAA and Louisville did an internal and external investigation, and both found that like
and the players admitted it.
Yeah,
some of them, yeah.
And then the coach admitted it.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what else there is to say. And at first I really thought like Rick didn't know about it, but like there's 2 coaches who are named in the case, and there's another coach who is not named, but they did interview. I think he had to be purposely looking the other way. There's no way 3 coaches know about strippers having upwards of like 20 parties in their dorms with recruits on campus that he didn't know about that. And there was one like interesting part of the case where they said that like the team was like looking kind of sluggish or whatever at practice, and one of the coaches said in front of everyone like, "Oh, you guys must have run with the hookers last night." Like the directors like put the earmuffs on. Like, what hookers?
He's kidding.
So
nothing gay, right, guys?
This stuff just happens at Louisville all the time, and they don't get in trouble for it. And the NCAA.
It's cool to see the hammer being
dropped very harsh, and I think they should have. No other coach in the country would survive this. And I don't say that like Rick Pitino. I'm saying like anyone at Louisville. Like if Calipari was at Louisville or Izzo was at Louisville and they did this, like they would survive it too.
Yeah.
This would only happen at a school like that or Baylor. He's drugged that school through two major embarrassments, and then he's I go on and on, but like his last case with like Karen Cipher and like having sex on like a Porcini's floor and like just bringing shame to the program and then like lying under oath and extorting her to like testify how he wants, and they asked him questions about it like that's the press's job, and he was I can't believe they were talking about this on like Ted Kennedy's birthday or on the day Ted Kennedy died, like. So I feel like he just like looked up, like Googled like, oh, who died today, and
I obviously like under like a contract, whatever it's called, I can't remember the word. Like basically bad behavior is like under like is relative to like whoever. But I mean, I don't know how this isn't considered bad behavior, and like that's reaching his contract. So I don't know, but yeah,
it's a really bad behavior.
Yeah, so
naughty Louisville.
Yeah, so I would figure it makes sense for me to like cut him loose, but that's not going to happen.
He drags their program through the mud, and don't you think they'd be better off right now going into like year 2 with maybe like Chris Mack or someone?
Yeah, and like regardless of these allegations, Louisville is still like one of the best programs there is. Like they could get like a good coach. It's not like it's only Rick Pitino.
I don't know if they want to go to the school with like the 28th most wins now.
What? I mean, like they could get a good coach.
Their last title is before Indiana's last title.
Yeah.
It's a great day.
Hens is happy.
Like this has not been a bad sports year for me. Like really, there's been some disappointments, but like it's been a pretty good year, and this has been like the best part of it by far. Better than like beating UCLA in the Sweet 16. Better than like Michigan's like start to the football season. Better than like Michigan's like run in the Big Ten tournament. Like this is lit as hell, and I'll never stop smiling. And this isn't like winning a national title, but it's pretty damn close. Seeing one of your rivals get this title stripped from them. So.
And then one other thing that I'm interested as well, but mostly Henry, is that there was talks about this for months, and some like insults thrown from each side, but it's official. Like it became official like mid last week that Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather are going to fight in like late August. Right around like when school starts again. But and yeah, obviously very interesting. Floyd Mayweather like undefeated, and Conor McGregor like UFC fighter. See how he does. But I imagine you have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I really don't think this is going to be a very good fight. There's actually a UFC fighter yesterday or this weekend who he fought a boxer and he ended up dying. Like they do not teach striking in the MMA like they should, and the fights last like 5 minutes. There's no way you can go in with the best pound for pound fighter in the world and expect to box him. There was actually a video of like him preparing for this, like sparring in boxing, and like it was like some trashy boxer, and he's tweeted out the video, and like the trashy boxer is taking it to Conor McGregor. So everyone's gonna buy the fight because it's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
But don't buy it and expect like, oh, it's gonna be a back and forth battle. Floyd's gonna run around the ring, pop back in, hit him 3-4 times and bloody his face up, and then at the end of the fight, as they always do, they lose all 12 rounds, their face is all mangled, and they say, oh, Floyd just ran from me. So how'd your face get like that? And if he just ran, like how do you win every single round? But that's what I would expect to happen here.
Yeah, it should be an exciting thing, or maybe not as exciting as we would hope, but still.
It'll be exciting build-up.
Yeah. And then just the last thing we got is looks like it'll be another quick episode. It's just some movies and TV show stuff. And first off, I finished how I said, I think this was, several weeks ago, I said I was watching the show Entourage. I finished that the other day. It's a comedy from HBO. I liked it. I didn't love it. It was like, as far as I rank all my TV shows on a list, it was like middle of the pack. But still pretty good. And then one other thing is season 3 of Fargo is going to end this Wednesday. And like I said, like no spoilers, but season 3 of Fargo is probably my least favorite of that show, but I still love that show, and I think that's one of the best shows on TV right now. And it might be the last season because the showrunner is a busy dude, and he's a showrunner of
busy V.
He's a showrunner of another show. So hopefully it's not the last one, but because I love that show, but maybe it is. And then I think the last thing we got is that how I just finished Entourage. I am now, because Game of Thrones season 7 is starting in like 27 days. So I'm about to rewatch season 6 to get ready for season 7 again. And I think I've talked about it a little bit in the past, but I love Game of Thrones. It's my favorite show. So I'm.
Of course.
Nice. So I'm really excited for that coming out in a couple weeks, and I think we covered everything.
I think we did.
All right, guys. Stay tuned for our next episode.